Hi, welcome to nice little flow for your day. So I taught a class the other day at Big River Running in the evening, and I got some really good feedback about it. So this is what I remember of it. There may be a couple things that are a little bit different if you were in that class. Hopefully it's pretty much the same, but it's a nice kind of relaxing flow. One that you could do maybe in the evening or even midday, something to help you relax, de-stress a little bit, and hopefully get your body moving as well. So I have 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can always use books, water bottles, something sturdy, a sturdy box, or you can get some blocks. You can get them at Five Below for about $5. Target, lots of places have them, Amazon. I find them really helpful throughout my practice. Even though I've been practicing yoga for quite some time, I love using props, and I always encourage people, no matter what the level of your practice, props are always going to be helpful. So let's start out laying down. I'm just going to move these blocks over here for a moment. And you can close your eyes or just let them relax. You can place one hand on your belly and on your chest if you'd like to feel your breath a little more. And feel free to close your eyes or just let them relax here. Just going to start to slow down our breath a bit here. Try and let go of any thoughts that are kind of floating around in your mind that are a little distracting, so that you can try and give yourself this little bit of time just for you, just for your mind and your body. Try and let go of worries about the future and thoughts of what's already happened. Things that we can't change, just let those go. Try and let go of any stressful thoughts, any anger, sadness. Just try and let those go, even if it's just for a little bit, so you can focus your mind and your body and your breath on this present time. We'll take about 4 more rounds of breath here. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or just let them relax. Go ahead and stretch out your legs and your arms. And as you inhale, take a nice big stretch. Exhale, let your body relax. And if you like, you can gently bring your knees in for a little hug and maybe rock a little side to side. Then you can gently set your feet back on the mat or keep them in for a little hug. And gently roll over to one side, whichever side feels good. Take a little pause here. And then find your way up to seated. You can cross your legs or have them nice and long. You can still keep your eyes closed or just let them relax here. As you inhale, gently reach to the sky. Exhale, take a nice twist to the right and let your hands float down wherever it's comfortable. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. And please, I always like to tell my class, please listen to your body. This is for you. I'm just here to guide you through some shapes and some breath work, but ultimately it's up to you. So grab a drink, take a rest, take a variation, whatever you need throughout your practice. As you inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, twist over to the left. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. Next inhale, come back to center. On your next exhale, reach over to the right side, taking a nice side stretch. And I'm gonna feel something under my mat, little cat ball. Just move that out of the way. One of the fun things of yoga at home is I find cat toys, or sometimes there's a cat cameo in class. Inhale up, exhale over to the left. I think both of my cats are napping, so we maybe won't have any visitors this time. Inhale back up. We're going to take a nice seated cat-cow so your hands can rest lightly wherever it's comfortable. As you inhale, lift your chin and chest. Exhale, curl your back, chin comes towards your chest. We're going to take 3 more just like that. Nice big inhale up. Exhale to curl the back. This is a really nice stretch if you sit a lot or if you have some back stiffness. It gets a little movement in the spine. Next inhale, come up to seated. We're going to find our way into tabletop. So bring the wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, spine is nice and long. As you inhale, sweep the right hand up and out. Exhale, slide that arm underneath, threading the needle coming down, maybe to your shoulder and the side of your head. Left hand can stay where it's at. It can reach forward or maybe wrap around your low back. Another nice option is this right hand. Think of pressing the back of your arm down into the floor or mat. And see if that feels a little different, if that feels good or not so good. On your next inhale, bring that left hand back in. Gently press yourself up. Sweep the right arm out. Set that arm down and let's switch sides. Inhale, left arm reaches up and out. Slide that arm underneath and then find what feels comfortable on this side. And again, lots of options. Take a couple of breaths here. And bring that right hand under your shoulder. Press yourself up, sweep that left arm out, come back into your tabletop. We're going to bring our elbows down to the ground. Actually, we're going to come down to our belly first. It's been a few days, so I may have to take a moment to think about what we're doing. Inhale, shrug the shoulders back, lift the chest, nice and gentle for cobra. Exhale to lower. We're going to take 3 more here. Maybe think of lifting a little bit higher each time. Hugging the elbows in, keeping the gaze towards the top of your mat. Maybe pressing down through the tops of the legs. Pressing the toenails down into the mat. You don't have to come very high here. It's what feels good. Okay, so we're going to come back up into that tabletop. And now we're going to bring our elbows down to the mat. Fingers are nice and spread. Tuck the toes. Press the hips up and back. Find that dolphin pose. Feel free to keep a little bend to the knees if that feels good. Think of pressing your chest towards your thighs. Pressing your elbows down and forward a bit. Taking 1 more round of breath. And on your next exhale, let your knees float down to the ground. Bring your feet together and find a nice child's pose. We'll take 2 nice breaths here. So lots of options. Some people don't find child's pose very comfortable. Feel free to maybe stack the hands and let your forehead rest on your hands. Maybe come up to your elbows. Maybe have a block under your forehead. See what feels good in your body. On your next inhale, come back up to tabletop. And this time we're going to move into down dog. So if you want to move the hands forward just a little bit, tuck the toes, press the hips up and back, find that down dog. So Few options here to bring a little more movement to the body if you want to pedal it out, if you want to move the hips side to side, if you want to float forward into plank and back to down dog. Lots of options here. So down dog is a nice stretch for the low back, but it can be tight on the hamstrings and low back. So again, feel free to bend those knees a little if that feels nice. Maybe bend and lengthen a few times, get a little more movement in the body. We're going to take one more round of breath here. And then on your next inhale, rise up to the balls of your feet. Exhale, let your knees lower down. Bring your feet together and find that child's pose again. Again, it's whatever's comfortable for you today. We're going to take one full breath here. And then come back into that tabletop. And we're going to find that down dog one more time. And then on your next inhale, glance to the top of your mat. Exhale, walk your feet forward, finding a nice forward fold. Maybe bend the knees, maybe grab elbows or let your hands hang down. It's okay if you don't fold in half. If this is not comfortable, we do have blocks, so feel free to bring your blocks right here for some support. Maybe take your hands lightly to your legs. Just find that nice shape that gives you a good stretch but isn't painful. Think of letting your upper body relax. And we're going to take one more round of breath. Let's start to roll up nice and slow. Stack your vertebra one on top of the other and let your head be the last thing that comes up. Nice, let's find our mountain pose. Feet come about under the hips. Shrug the shoulders back a few times. Let the arms be nice and relaxed. Palms might face forward or face inward. Chin is slightly lifted. Take a breath in and up. And exhale to release. Let's add a little more movement. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Gently roll up, nice and slow. One vertebra on top of the other. Head is last. And let's take that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale to fold. And gently roll up. Let's add a little more movement here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold. And step that right foot back behind you. And if you want to grab one or both blocks, you can. And since I have a wall behind me, we'll just step forward a bit. So we're going to come into a nice low lunge. If this is not comfortable on your knee, feel free to place some support under it or roll your mat. And again, one or two blocks are great options here. We just want to think of pressing forward in this hip flexor a little bit. If it's comfortable, maybe try lifting the arms up or even taking a little back bend, maybe even bending the elbows. So see what's feeling good today and find that nice, comfortable shape. We're going to take one more round of breath wherever you're at. And then gently bring the hands down if you lifted them. And we're going to lengthen out the left leg and maybe try flexing that foot, putting in bend to that knee if you need it. So you may be right here, and this may feel like a good stretch, and that's fantastic. Maybe you want to walk your blocks forward a little more and lean forward over that leg. Again, finding what feels good for you. And we're going to take about one more breath here. And then we're going to gently move with our breath through these shapes. So inhale, come back into that lunge. Exhale to lengthen it out. Inhale back to lunge. Maybe lift the arms if you'd like. Exhale, lengthen it out. Maybe sweep the hands back. And one more here. And inhale, come back into that lunge. Step back into your tabletop. You can set those blocks to the side if you have them. and sit back to your child's pose. Inhale, rise back up into tabletop. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back, and find that down dog. Next, exhale, step or hop the feet forward and roll up. Let the head be the last thing up. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale to fold. This time we're going to step that left foot back to that nice low lunge. Finding that shape on this side, what feels good. Again, the blocks are a nice option, or even reaching the arms up, taking a back bend, or bending those elbows. We're going to take one more breath, whichever one you chose. And then as you exhale, you're going to lengthen out the right leg, maybe flexing the foot, maybe bending the knee. Your blocks might be here. You might want to walk them forward a bit, finding what feels good for you. And know that this side may look and feel completely different than the other side, and that's okay. Our bodies are never exactly the same on both sides, so we have to move a little bit differently each way. Let's go ahead and move with our breath. Inhale back into that lunge. Exhale, lengthen out the leg. We'll take two more here, and it's always an option to come all the way up to that back bend and sweep the fingers down and back. We'll take one more. Come back into that lunge. Find your way into tabletop and sit back into child's pose. Come back up into tabletop. Tuck the toes, press the hips up and back for down dog, and step or hop your feet forward and roll it up. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale to fold. This time that right foot's going to step back. We're going to rise up into a lunge. Turning the back heel, open up into your warrior two. We're just going to do a few pulses here. So take a moment to find that shape. Arms are nice and strong. Knee is in line with your toe, pressing into the outer edge of that right foot. Inhale, reach for the sky, straighten the left leg. Exhale, back to warrior two. Let's take two more like that. One more. Good. Take a full pause here, full breath. And then gently lift the right heel and turn yourself back to the front into that lunge. Step your right foot up to left. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold. We're going to switch sides here. Left foot steps back. Rise up into your lunge. Turn in your back heel, open up warrior two on this side. Take a pause here to find that shape. Keeping the chest nice and lifted, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Let's take two more here. And in case you're admiring my totally awesome shirt, I got this at Big River Running. One of my favorite stores. It's a great local store, locally owned. They are fantastic. They will fit you for whatever shoes that you're needing, and the staff is wonderful. Let's take a pause here. Take your time, lift that back heel. Come back into that lunge, step the left foot up to right. Take a breath in and up. Exhale to fold. Step the right foot back. And this time you're going to walk yourself around to the right side. Finding a nice wide-legged forward fold. Again, blocks are wonderful here. You can take one or two. And take a few breaths to kind of bend and lengthen the legs. Get a little more movement into the legs and the hips. See what feels nice here. Sometimes I like to bring my elbows down. We're going to take one more breath here. I hear someone coming over here, so little cameo by JJ maybe. You can see. You're going to walk your hands or your blocks forward as far as you can. Kind of like a wide-legged down dog. And take a couple of breaths here. Feel free to bend the knees whenever you need to, if that feels more comfortable. We're going to come back to that wide-legged forward fold. Then you're going to take your hands and blocks behind you as far as you can. Fingers pointing backwards. We're going to take one more breath. And then gently come back to center. Bring just your fingertips to your block or to the ground. Lift halfway to a flat back, hands to hips, and rise up. Turn your right toes to the front and left foot steps up to right. Let's try the other side, or right foot step. Turn your left foot to the front, right foot steps up to left. Let's take a breath in and up. And fold. Left foot steps back, and we're going to walk around to that wide-legged forward fold again. Sorry, I got a little distracted. I have my camera, my super high-tech camera stand is actually a little cat scratcher, and my cat was scratching on it. I was just hoping that the camera didn't fall. Let's take one more breath here. And then we're going to come into some twists. So I like to bring my hands to blocks for twists so I can have kind of a nice flat back here. And I'm going to inhale, reach that right hand up. And you can always take that hand to your hip or your low back as well. If you did take your hand to your hip or back, next inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, let that hand come down. And let's switch sides, left fingers reach up. And again, you can bring that hand to your hip or your low back. On your next inhale, reach back to the sky. Exhale, let that hand come down. And let's just move with our breath. Inhale, right hand reaches up. Exhale, let it come back down. And left side. And down. And let's do one more each. And then we're going to gently bring our fingertips to the block or the ground. Lift halfway to that flat back, hands to hips and rise up. Turn your right or your left toes to the front. Step that, or right toes to the front. Step that left foot up to meet right. Woo! Let's take a big breath in and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Let's take everyone's favorite pose, chair pose. I know everyone always loves that. It actually is one of my favorite poses. You do not have to make it low. You do not have to make it intense. You just want to have your feet, they can either be nice and close or a little bit apart. You want to take your hands either shoulder height, up by your ears, or at your heart. You're just going to sit your hips back like you're about to take a seat. Now this is chair pose. You don't have to go super low. Just think of keeping the spine nice and long. If you'd like, you can take it a little lower. And we're just going to take a couple of breaths here. I prefer my hands here or here. When I bring them up here, I feel like I'm arching my back a bit. And so I like to bring my arms down a little, but any option is great. Next, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take a couple of balances here. So anytime you're working on balance, know that it may be a good day, it may not be a good day. That's totally fine. We're going to start by finding a nice firm foundation for that foot to help us with our balance. We're going to root down into big toe, little toe, inside, outside of the heel on that left side and gently float that right knee. So here's a nice spot to use your block if you'd like a little support here. And so wherever you're at with that knee, you can take that right arm back and glance back as well for a little twist. We're going to take one more breath. Inhale, come back to center. Set that foot down. If you want to shake that leg out, you can. And we'll switch sides if you want to move that block over for some support. Root down into that right foot. Find that nice firm foundation and float that left knee. Maybe take some support here. Stand up nice and tall. Focus and breathe. You can start to take that left hand back and maybe glance back as well. We're going to take one more breath and come back to center. Set that foot down. If you want to shake out that right leg, you can. Good. So this next one, you can also have your block in front of you, one or both. I'm going to take mine a little bit lower. We're going to root down into that left foot again. Float that right knee, but this time that ankle's going to come either in front of your thigh, your shin, or your ankle. So 3 options here. Find your focus and breathe. Good. Maybe try flexing that right foot as well. And from here, if you'd like, you can sit back into that chair. So this block is really helpful here. If you can, if you'd like, you can maybe take it to the highest level. Take your hands to that block and maybe lengthen out the left leg. If it is comfortable, you can take that block even lower, or you can stay right here. If you had a seat, go ahead and rise up. Release that leg and let's try the other side. So you want to root down into that right foot, stand up nice and tall. Left ankle in front of the thigh, the shin, or the ankle. Good. Let's take maybe flex that foot. And if you'd like, try and sit back into that chair. So you can still sit back with that shin, that ankle in front of your shin. It might look and feel a little different. You can also take the hands down and straighten out that leg. So lots of options there. We're going to take one more breath wherever you're at. And then on your next inhale, if you took a seat, rise up. Exhale, release that leg, give them a nice shake out. Take a big breath in and up. Exhale to fold. And then we're going to come down and have a seat. And you can have your blocks by your side. If you'd like, you can have a seat on your block for a little bit different stretch here for our forward fold. So feet can be in close or they can be a little bit farther apart. You're going to inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold forward. Hands float down wherever it's comfortable. Feel free to bend the knees a bit if that feels good. If you didn't sit on your block, you have some other options. Blocks can be by your side and gently walk them forward. Or if you can easily reach your feet, maybe put your block on the soles of your feet and reach for the back of it. We're going to take one more breath wherever you're at. Good, then gently rise up. If you put that block under your seat, you can remove it. And we're going to come into our butterfly pose. So feet can be together or you can put a block in between them. And if you'd like to lean forward, you can. With 2 blocks, here's a few options. You can let your forehead rest on both. You can let your elbows rest, or you can bring it down to 1 if that's comfortable, or here. So there's a lot of options here for your body. And on your next inhale, you're gently going to rise up. And you can set that block to the side. Let's stretch out our neck a little bit here. Let your chin fall down towards your chest. I'm going to take one more inhale here. And one more exhale. And then just a little quarter roll, bringing your right ear towards your right shoulder. Little quarter roll down, chin to chest, and then left ear to left shoulder. Bring that chin back towards your chest, and maybe take a few nice little slow head rolls here. On your next inhale, lift your gaze back up. We're going to find our way down onto our backs, and you want to have your blocks by your side. So we're going to start out with knees bent, feet flat. You're going to take that right ankle and put it in front of your left thigh in that nice figure four. So a few options here. You can put a block under your left foot to elevate it a little bit. You can also take your knees in towards your belly, maybe flexing both feet. Or another great option I like is to let your legs rock a little side to side, massaging your low back a little bit here. We'll take a few breaths here. All right, then we're going to switch sides. We'll set that right foot down. Left ankle comes in front of the right thigh again. You can put a block under the right foot to elevate it. You can bring those knees in towards your belly, or you can let them gently rock side to side, or you can just stay where you're at. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. Let's go ahead and set that foot down. Just going to let the knees fall over towards the right side for a nice twist. So again, a few options here. You can stay here. You can take the outside of the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. And there goes JJ again. You can also bring that knee up. You can also take a block under your knee for some extra support here. We'll take about 2 more rounds of breath. On your next inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Exhale, let them fall over to the left side. Same thing. Find what feels good for you on this side as well. Just taking a few breaths. Gently bring the knees back up to center. We're going to let the legs come along and the arms come overhead. And as you inhale, take a big stretch. Exhale, let the body relax. Bend the knees, plant the feet. And to gently lift the hips and slide that block under your low back for a nice supported bridge. You can also take it up to the second height if that's comfortable. Maybe give that a try. From here, you can also lift your legs up towards the sky and see if that's comfortable, or take them out long in front. This is one that I enjoy. And we'll take a few breaths here. One more breath here. Gently bend your knees, plant your feet, lift your hips and slide that block out. We're going to take one more shape with these blocks before our rest. I want you to take one long wave below your neck between the shoulder blades. And then the other one is going to come either to the first or second level behind the back of your head, and you may have to play around, see what feels nice. You're going to take the arms out wide to your sides and legs. Knees can be bent or legs can be long. So this is a really great chest or heart opener. It's great if you sit on the computer a lot or drive a lot or anything where you are hunched over a bit. And this is just going to let the chest and the arms open up. And I always like to tell people, imagine that the front of your body is just gently melting open, releasing tension, releasing stress, letting everything relax. Now, if this is super comfortable, feel free to stay here for your final rest. If not, you can gently lift up and slide those blocks out from under you. If you like that block under your low back and that supported bridge, you can go ahead and place it there, or just set the blocks to the side and find what feels good for you. If you are laying on your back, you can gently lift your shoulders up, slide the shoulder blades back, and settle back in to keep that chest nice and open. Before you fully settle, if you'd like to take a longer rest, I suggest that you go ahead and turn off the video right now, because I don't want it jumping into another video and then suddenly waking you up. And if you are leaving us now, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, your evening, your week. And I hope that you join me again for another class. If you are staying for a guided rest, we're going to take about 2 minutes here. You can let your eyes relax or close them. And start to focus on your breathing. Really focus on the inhale, how it feels in your body. And focus on that exhale, how your body feels as you release your breath. Trying to let go of the other thoughts and just focusing on that breath. And I will guide you back in a couple of minutes. Start to wake your body up with some little movements here, wiggling the fingers and toes, or maybe rolling the head side to side. Maybe give yourself a nice big full body stretch here as well. If you still have those blocks underneath you, gently lift up and slide them out. And you can find your way over to one side. Feel free to keep the eyes closed or gaze soft. Taking a full breath here. And then gently finding your way up to seated. Let's take one nice big breath together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And feel free to bring your hands together and bow your head if that's comfortable for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm always thankful to have people watching my yoga, enjoying it, maybe bringing a little peacefulness, a little mindfulness to their day. Please join me again, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, and week.
Thank you.